He don't want you to have a bad mind. He wants you to have a good heart and a good mind. Those are the things that's going to get you into heaven. So we looked at Jesus. Jesus at a young age. When his mother and his father, they found him, he was in the temple. Then he was getting instruction from the elders. He was listening and he was asking questions. We ought to be like that. We ought to be curious about what God can do with us. Sometimes we're just not curious enough to find out what God would tell us. God will tell us some things. God will make your life right. Although we realize that Satan is going to come, we shouldn't act like that we're bothered by that. We should have the understanding that God is real. God is real. The question that he asked Mary said, well, son, why did you scare us like that? He said, I'm about my father's business. I'm about my father's business. Now you the one, you have to know it because he done told you some things. He done told me some things. I got to take care of my father's business. It's always important to realize that if you're taking care of God's business, you got to get out there and inquire what's going on in the mind and in the heart. Sometimes the mind gets messed up. Sometimes the heart gets messed up. And you have to understand every relationship, everything that's tied to one another has to be coming through the mind. Somebody saying something about you. Now the mind is getting hard to deal with the other people. You have to understand that kids see this. We're in a youth revival. We have to learn how to tell the youth that it's all right. That sister so-and-so said something about it. It's all right that brother so-and-so did this. Because God knows all about it. And if we start teaching our kids, we start getting our kids together, we got a better future ahead of us. The kids come into the church, and they'll watch one family sit on this side. They'll watch another family sit on that side. And they'll act like they like each other. Until they sit on that side. They say, we don't like this. We're in the church. We're in the church of God. People are looking at us. The children are looking at us. We need to do a better job as Christians. We have to believe that God knows everything that we make. Every thought that we make. So we ask God, like Solomon. Solomon said, give me knowledge and wisdom so I might be able to teach your people. Sometimes we come into church and we just so confused about what we didn't heard. And although we don't understand that what we heard, that Satan has something to do with it. Satan has something to do with what we said. Satan has something to do with where we failed. Our eyes are always seeing something. Our ears are always hearing something. Those are some things that's going to go on every day. Long as life is going through your body, long as blood is running in your veins, you're going to always hear something. Some things you might not like. Some things you might not agree with. But God still knows that. But I found out in my life, Pastor, that God has willed some things in our lives. He done willed some disappointments in our lives. He done made some things come in our lives that we have to adjust. We have to adjust to the suffering that goes on in our lives. Jesus suffered. We done picked up a cross that Jesus had. Here we are today, trying to act like we can't suffer a little bit. I can't suffer what man said about me. I can't suffer what they did to me. I don't remember what they did last week. We are in a new day. Here it is a new way. Here it is a new day. And I'm still praying to what happened last week. You need to forget about it. There is a thing called forgiveness. There is a thing called forgiveness. And God wants to forgive one another. Now you got to remember, this is a youth revival. We have to start telling our youth that what we did it wrong. We trying to get it right. We want to get it right now. We want you to help us, God. We want to tell the children that what we did was wrong. A bad heart and a bad mind will sit in the wrong position. You have to understand that you're looking at some things when the mind is bad. When the mind is bad, you're going to see the relationship bad. When the mind is bad, the people in the church are going to be bad. When the mind is bad, the choir is going to be bad. When the mind is bad, the preacher is going to be bad. When the mind is bad, everything is bad. Because the mind is bad. You need a good mind. You got to have a good mind. So you need God in your mind. God has to come and control your mind. Again, you have to look at what God said. He wants all of your heart, all of your mind, with all your might. means something about working. Yeah. Might doesn't mean that I'm going to just get it easy. There's going to be some things that I'm not going to want to do. That's right. But I'm going to do them anyway. God is a good God. God has always watched over us. That's right. I looked at some things that God said in the 22nd chapter that we looked at tonight. Professing themselves to be wise, they became fools. That's right. Then I looked at Matthew the 7th chapter in the 22nd and 23rd verse. Okay. Many would say to Jesus on that last day that we prophesied. Yeah. We cast out devils in your name. Right. We did all these things for you, Jesus. That's right. Jesus is going to say, I didn't know you. No, no. Right. I didn't know you. That's right. And say, we sung in the choir good. Right. We prayed real good. Yeah. We took up offers, Jesus. We did all these things for you, Jesus. Jesus is going to say, I didn't know you. Don't know you. I didn't know you. Yeah. I didn't know all the things you were doing them for me. I didn't see what you were doing for me. I see that you were doing these things for yourself. Yes, I understand that you got to be careful on what you ask for. God will let you have some things in your life. That's right. God will grant you the big house. He'll give you the big car. But you don't know the consequences. So you can't go around bragging about what you got. You can't go around telling people that I got this and I got that. I had to realize that because I looked at Daniel. Daniel had a good mind and a good heart. That's right. Daniel was a royal student in the king's palace. He was King Nebuchadnezzar. That's right. Had two dreams. The first dream, Daniel interpreted. Daniel didn't have to interpret that dream when he interpreted. He could have waited the king killed everybody. He knew he would have had the right place with the king. All right. But Daniel had a good heart and a good mind before anybody would kill. That's right. He went down there and told King Nebuchadnezzar what the dream meant. And then you look at the second dream. God was dealing with King Nebuchadnezzar's mind. Yes, he was. He was putting things in King Nebuchadnezzar's mind. That's right. King Nebuchadnezzar was a powerful king. That's right. He had everybody worshiping him. That's right. You know the story of the 3 Hebrew boys. That's right. That was King Nebuchadnezzar. That's right. That was the king that was causing all the problems in his own kingdom. That's right. You have to understand that Daniel said, well, this dream is a bad dream. This dream, you have to realize you're going to lose your mind. Now listen to me real good. Daniel told him before it happened, you're going to lose your mind. You're going to lose your mind. If anybody told you that today you'll leave here and try to go get a pill, you'll leave here and go tell the nurse and the doctor, I'm going to lose my mind. Is there anything that you can do about it? But Daniel said, now this is coming from God. I can go ahead and tell you, you're going to be out in the woods. That's right. Like animals. That's right. You're going to grow some horns. All these things are going to happen to you in your life. Now, you still king now. You can't do nothing about these things. Yeah. And the Bible says a year later, this thing fell down on King Nebuchadnezzar. That's right. For 7 years. Yeah. 7 years he had to walk through the woods. That's right. 7 years. You don't want God putting anything on you for 7 years. You don't want God whipping you like that because you're bragging and you're being boastful. You got a bad heart. You got a bad mind. You're doing all these things to God's children. You need to have a good heart and a good mind. You have to understand that every time we do something, there's a record being kept. Everything that we do is being kept. That's right. So you have to be careful what you say. You have to be careful what you do. That's right. When you look at the families today, the family have to come together. We're not praying anymore together. Look at that. We're not doing anything anymore together. Yeah. We go to the church together, but we're pointing fingers. We come into the church, we want to sing together. We're trying to do all these things on our own. But God said he's going to give us up to our own mind. He's going to give us up to our own mind. Yeah. That's our mind. That's what we think we need to do. We think we can get about without forgiving nobody. We think we can get about without doing what God said we need to do. All right. That ain't right. All right. I don't know who told you that was right. That ain't right. God said that we have to do what he says. There's commandments that we have to keep. No matter who you is, no matter who you are, you have to keep God's commandments. Yes. God is a powerful God. Yes. We often look at what God did back then, and we look at what God is doing today. All right. You look at how God is showing a sign that he's coming back.